Hello and welcome to another Transformers review. Well, in just a few hours I'll be heading off to auto assembly, and before I go I thought I would just throw out a quick review. And the subject for today's review will be Universe Acid Storm. But before we get to the toy, let's talk about the character a bit. Now, Acid Storm only appeared in one episode, Divide and Conquer, in which he, along with two other Seekers, the Rainmakers, were ordered by Megatron to create acid rain to stop the Autobots that went from Earth to Cybertron. Now, that was the only episode in the G1 series that we see him, and as far as I'm aware, he did not appear in the comics either UK or US. Okay, now the background is out of the way, we can get to the toy. Now, Acid Storm is a repaint of Starscream in a darkish green colour with camouflage, which I am thankful that this is not a cartoon accurate repaint, as he is quite a bright green in the cartoon. Okay, you may have noticed the Decepticon symbols on the wings and nose cone. I've done this to make it a bit more nicer looking, as I don't really care for the black Decepticon symbols. His colours are darkish green with dark brown and light brown. But like all that share this mould, he has a rubber nose cone. He only has moulded in wheels on the underside, but you can still push it along the surface fairly well. Speaking of the underside, his entire robot mode is exposed, as you can see the chest, legs and even arms. But despite all that, he is still really nice looking in this mode. Alright, I don't think there's anything else to talk about with the alt mode, so let's move to robot mode. Now we're back in a bit. Okay, we're back with the robot mode. But first, I'd like to take a quick look at the missile launchers. Take it off there. It has some nice details on it, as you can see. And of course it is a spring loaded one. And the missile itself looks pretty nice as well. Oh, and you can either put the launchers on the arms like other Seekers, or you can put them in his hands. Now this has the benefit of when moving his arm, it doesn't knock back the wings. Now the colours are changed up a bit in robot mode, replacing the grey with black and some yellow accents. All in all, gives it a really nice look. The detail on it is great, so let's take a closer look at it, starting with the head. Sorry about that. As you can sort of make out, the head sculpt has some great detail on it. Not to mention the black paint, which almost makes it shine in the light. I really like that. Moving on to the chest area, which has some nice details. Moving down to the lower part, there isn't as much details on the legs, as most of it is centralised around the waist. Okay, let's move on to articulation, and again we go back to the head. Now you can move the head from side to side, but that is all. It's only on a swivel joint, and you have to use the nose cone at the back to move the head. Going to the arms, things start to get a little better, as the shoulders have an inward-outward motion, as well as a 360 rotation, although the wings do get in the way. The elbow joints are good, almost feels ratchet-like, and the hands have no real movement save for the transformation. Moving down the legs, things get even better with ball-jointed hips, with some nice clearance range. Going down, he can bend at the knees as well as has a swivel. Unfortunately, you can't really do anything with the feet. You can pivot them, but that's about it. Now, with all of that out of the way, is this figure worth getting? I would say yes, especially if you're a fan of obscure character repaints,
or if you're just a fan of Seekers in general. The colour scheme does set it apart from Starscream a bit, and it is still quite affordable. Well, with that, it's the end of my review. Please rate this video, check out my other channel, and remember, this review is brought to you by Door to Door Taxis and Minibuses, an Isle of Wight family run business. See you all at Auto Assembly.